Hi, guys. How are you today? We have a lot to talk about today. We're going to talk about uh, the Real Housewives of New York, Heather saying that she was physically assaulted. And then we're going to start out the video talking about this Josh Duggar case, which everybody's talking about. It is absolutely everywhere. It's no way I could have ignored the story, even though I don't really watch the show. I watch it occasionally, but not a lot. But he's been charged with having images of people under 12. I'll put it that way. And remember, we can't say certain words or the censor will block it. So mods, make sure they don't say the P word, okay? So let me go ahead and play my intro and allow more people to come in, and then we'll get right into it. Hi guys, how are you? Okay guys, we're going to talk about Josh Duggar first. I'm going to read you this TMZ article that broke the news that he was been charged today, and then we're going to really get into it. But I want to read this TMZ article word for word. Let me put it up here. That way I don't get anything wrong. And there's no slip ups with using the P word, okay? It says Josh Duggar just been hit with charges of receiving and possessing images of people under 12 following his arrest by federal agents in Arkansas. According to legal documents, the 19 kids and counting star knowingly received images of people under 12 in mid-May 2019. He's accused of knowingly possessing images of people under 12, including images of minors below the age of 12. Okay. Duggar's been charged by indictment with receiving and possessing images of people under 12. So that's the word I'm going to use, people. One count each. If convicted, he faces up to 20 years of imprisonment and fines up to $250,000 on each count. He's been ordered to forfeit any material related to the case to authorities, including turning over any and all computer equipment. Duggar appeared before the judge at the Western District of Arkansas Federal Court from jail via Zoom. They're doing a lot of Zoom things lately, where he entered a plea of not guilty on all counts. A court hearing set for next week to determine if Duggar will be granted bond release, but he's to remain in custody until then. The judge ruled if bond is granted, Duggar will be required to stay with a third-party custodian, and that person can't have unsupervised minors in the home. His trial is scheduled for July. Okay, so that's the crust of what's going on today. Now, let me get into some more details. Let me bring up my crew. What up, John?
Hey.
Mr. Sanders is in the building.
Hey, what's up?
This is wild. Let me go over some more things that I know before we just get into how weird this family is, okay? Very, very weird. And again, I'm doing this story today because it's a slow Housewives day. I usually don't know. I usually watch this on and off. Lacey, love you, Sharrell. I'm going to get straight. Josh Duggar should have been locked up a long time ago. That's what I'm hearing. That is exactly what I'm hearing. Let me go over a few more points. The rumor is he downloaded more than 10,000 images of people under 12. Okay. I said that. The indictment is sealed, so we don't know exactly what the specific charges are. Okay. Of course, there was a rumor. Well, not a rumor. They said back in 2016, he admitted to how could I say this? Touching his sisters. Okay. I got to be very careful, guys, with these words.
Yeah.
And even back then, the family stood still stood by him. And I'm being told the rumor is that they're still going to stand by him this time too. Okay. What else? They canceled the show, 19 Kids and Counting, because of him. Also, he has repeatedly cheated on his wife. He even contacted a dating site called Ashley Madison app, where he got caught having rough play. I'll say it that way. I don't know how to say all this.
It's going to be the most impossible thing to dance around.
Yeah. What else? That was number 8, number 9. I'm being told that the rumor is that the family knew that that they were being investigated. Okay. And that they still stood by him. Let me get all of the rumors out. And then, also he has 6 children of his own, and people are wondering if they are victims.
Well, and there's also one on the way that I think they just announced that she was pregnant maybe last week. I think that she was pregnant with baby number 7. So there's that too.
Okay. The only person that has made his statements thus far is Jill. She's one of the sisters. I think she's one of the sisters that moved out of town for a different country for a while.
She was also one of the sisters that was touched by Josh.
Yeah. Okay. Oh God. She came out and says, "We just learned this information. It is very sad." All right. Tell me what you know about this, John.
What a want response to that. Like, it's very, I think Ginger, with all their J names, they confuse me. But I think Ginger was actually the one who spoke out and just said, like, this is crazy. I'm like, I'm disgusted. At least she had, like, she took a stance, as where the rest of the family is like, oh, we're going to pray. But,
Terry, you've seen this show at least once, right?
Oh yeah, no, I sort of know a little bit about it. It's not my show that I watch, but I mean,
do they seem weird to you?
Well, 19 Kids and Counting. I mean, on his own, it's sort of weird for me. But like, if all this stuff is true, he's one sick freak on wheels. Okay, if it's true, I mean, because like everybody deserves
a freak on wheels, Gary. A freak on wheels.
Yeah. A sick freak on wheels. I'm just telling you, like, it's certain things, I mean, going to this Madison thing, doing something. Yeah. But when you start going to the playground, we got a limit.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So if it's true, like I said, everybody, deserve their day in court. So I'm not going to crucify nobody. But I'm just saying, if it's proven to be true, that's a bad situation.
John, would you consider Josh mentally ill? We don't know. I'm just saying your opinion.
There's something wrong with him. Like, all right, so back in 2005, I think is like when the first allegations came up that he was inappropriate with 5 minors, 4 of which were like his siblings. So that was that. Then, Jim Bob and Michelle didn't go to the police. They, they sent him to like some farm where he did like hard labor or whatever. Or some Christian camp or whatever. So then there's that. Then the police finally do catch wind of it. But then the statute of limitations ran out or something like that. And then they couldn't move forward. And I think that was in like 2016. Then, so he's already on record admitting that he was inappropriate with those 5 minors, 4 of which were being, his sisters. And then he was also, this is the best part. He was also running like that political action committee, like it was like a very family research council or something like that. And their main goal was to stop like gay marriage, and marriage is only for man and woman. It was very anti-gay. Jim Bob and Michelle would like leave like voicemails, auto recordings on people's answering machines at home, telling them how atrocious I hate this family the gay marriage thing was. So then he was doing that. Once the Ashley Madison stuff broke out, then he had to like resign from his post. And then right after that, I think either a porn star or a
P-star.
P-star or a lap dancer filed charges against him, because he was at the club giving her like $600 worth of lap dances, and then something went foul with that. I mean, it's just so much with this guy.
So, John, when you say Jim Bob, you are referring to Josh, right?
Huh? Jim Bob's like the dad. Jim Bob.
Okay, but Josh is that the same person?
No, Jim Bob's the father. He's like the father of the clan. And then you have Michelle with the split braid, the horrible split braid hair that she wears, like she just wants the prairie. So, girl's got no time to brush her hair. She's been pregnant 19 times. Yeah. I don't even know how she could walk. I don't understand.
Wow.
Now, this is very strange for me, and this is no disrespect to anybody. The parents are very weird. The woman, the wife, Michelle, she said things on air. You know, if your husband asks for it, you have to give it to him. You have to, please your husband. You have women. You're raising young women. What do you do? You're teaching them to bow down. Give it to them. You never say no. That's what I heard her say on one of the episodes. Never say no. I think they have so many kids, and I'm not being mean, that everyone can't get attention. Every problem can't be solved.
How could you get attention when there's 20 kids?
Yeah. I mean, and it feels like he's had this problem his whole life. You're touching your sisters in inappropriate places. Touching, it could have been other things too, because one of them seems really scarred. There's one of them, I don't remember her name. She stays away.
Ginger just made this statement. Ginger's another one who I'm not sure if she was violated by him, but she just wrote, "We are disturbed to hear of the charges against Josh. While this case must go through the legal system, we want to make it clear that we absolutely condemn any form of child and fully support the authorities for a judicial process in their pursuit of justice." So at least she's coming strong against it.
So someone has to. I don't understand the father protecting Josh. And you said they didn't report it to the police the first time?
No, they kept it a family matter because from what I remember,
they kept it a family secret is what they did. Go ahead.
Jim Bob had said, at the time the girls were so young they didn't even know they were being.
Oh no, John, don't say that.
He legit said that. He said that, and then he said so the younger ones. He said they didn't even know anything was happening, so no big deal. And then the two sisters, Jill, and I don't know if it was Ginger or whoever, but they were like, oh, so what? No big deal. He's a good guy. Everybody cut him some slack. It was just very bizarre. And I think he homeschooled. I think most of the kids. I'm pretty sure that I know Josh was. I don't know if that makes a difference, but I don't know.
Maybe he protect him. I mean, maybe, he got this illness or sickness from his father. So, people like that can have a certain.
Hold on. What do you mean, Perry?
No, I'm only saying
what do you mean he got the illness from his father?
The sickness or whatever. I'm just saying it's a learned behavior. Maybe
it could have happened to him?
It could have happened to him, or he followed in his father's footsteps. I'm just saying, for his father to condone it and act like nothing happened, it's something strange there. I'm just saying, if these things happen, and I don't want to cross the line with it, I'm just saying, for a person to come out and do that is basically saying, oh no, I understand exactly where you're coming from. Ain't nothing wrong with that boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's something wrong.
And it wasn't he was just he was going from what I read and remember, he was all over the bodies of these people, just very handsy and, put up the doll and show me where the person touched you type thing. It wasn't some casual, I might have fondled.
Yeah.
It
could have been all the way. You don't know, especially now that knowing what we know now, how he, I remember when he got caught with the Ashley Madison thing, one of the women came out and was saying that he liked it rough.
Yeah.
You remember that? But the thing, go back to what Perry said. It could be, oh my God, Perry, I don't even know, taught or learned. I'm saying this in a respectful way, but most people that do things like that, because we got to be careful with our words.
Right.
It happened to them.
or it's something that you learned to be okay by watching somebody else do it with no recourse? Like, you know, if your father turned wrenches, maybe one day you'll turn wrenches too. I mean, you thinking that's the thing to do. Ooh. I'm not giving nobody an excuse that thing is sick, regardless whoever did it. You know what I'm saying? It's just not right. But I'm just saying that's why he could be so protected.
You're describing.
Well, Josh is also the firstborn too, which is, you know, so he was the first kid of the 19.
Ooh. I don't know what to say. I mean my goodness.
You got 19 kids, and then you teaching the women just
it's about that. Yeah.
I don't care how many kids you have, but you're gonna go back in that kitchen barefoot and pregnant and cook and wash, and it's like it's almost like a cult or like something. Like
yeah, it really is.
Very sex dungeon, something.
Because here you are pretending to be living a good life, following all the good Christian rules. I don't even know if they're Christian, but you know, they come across like real religious. And then you never know what's going on behind closed doors. It might not just be Josh. Out of 20 people,
right?
20. Somebody knows something, and how is he the only one? I mean, I think it's going to start coming out eventually.
Yeah, I'm just saying most scammers always, have that fake side. You know what I'm saying? They, reading a Bible verse on Monday and freaking on Tuesday. You see what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
Lori said it is a cult.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a cult to me. Yeah.
This is what, now piggybacking off what Perry just said, I'm going to kind of read this because it's very interesting real quick. So after Josh came back from like the camp that they sent him to, instead of him going to jail or whatever, they sent him to the camp to do the Harley. Now, this is very interesting. In 2003, his father took him to meet James Hutchins, an Arkansas state trooper and family acquaintance. According to Josh and his parents, the meeting was the first time any law enforcement authority was made aware of this.
Yeah.
According to Jim Bob, Josh admitted to Hutchins, that's the cop, that he'd committed bad things and he apologized. But here's like the kick. Now, this is a good friend of Jim Bob Duggar, this cop named Hutchins. Now, here's the kicker. Hutchins was later arrested and convicted of unrelated charges of the same thing Josh just got.
Harry,
and
you're on to something.
That's the father, and that's the father's good friend, who's a cop.
Yep.
And he's currently serving a 56-year prison sentence. So it wasn't anything light, if he got 56 years for that, that there must have been some stuff going on there.
I'm reading some of the comments and they said it's not a joke. They really are a cult.
They follow cult rules or something like that.
They follow cult
rules. Yeah. I mean, it's just it's a weird thing because like the normal person don't have no idea what these people are thinking like that. But really, if like say you follow these certain rules and that man can have 6 wives, you know how groups get and they form these stuff.
But they're not even like at first when I first watched that show, I thought it was like another Sister Wives type thing where like,
right.
It's just the one wife. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, it was only the one wife at home.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? It was more.
It seems like that. I feel, I don't want to say this. I have to say it, that maybe the wife, okay.
Is okay with it?
Well, suspect is something at least, or if not known, I mean.
There's no way he could have been going around sneaking in between those bedrooms at night. Like they had to have known. I mean.
If I had to guess, I would say yes, Sharrell. I mean, like I said, just my opinion. Nobody knows her thoughts. But if I had to look in from the outside, I would say she knew. Just like she knew that anytime he says he want to, she got to say yes. She was going by the bylaws, the rules, the whatever that he laid down.
Oh, so I'm thinking.
If the rules is, I'm going to do what I want to do and you ain't going to say nothing else about it, then that's where it's at.
Oh, God, this is getting too common. I'm thinking Jim Bob's wife, the mom of the family, what's her name? Michelle. Had to suspect something. And I'm also thinking that Josh's wife, Anna, is that her name? had to suspect something.
I suspect like Michelle to tell the girls like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. No, don't say anything. Keep quiet. Like, oh,
that was bad.
Yeah, I can see it now. No, daughter, that's not ladylike.
That was just a dream.
You know what I'm saying? You know, because maybe that's how she grew up, not to say anything, just to be submissive. You know what I'm saying?
That's how she's teaching her daughters.
She knew what kind of man this like a man this was. If she don't had 19 kids, so she know how he liked the rough house and everything else. So she had to know something was strange with him.
Wait. It was Josh, the son, that liked it rough. I don't know how the dad.
I'm saying, but he learned it from somebody. I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah. That would be really
corn type mess.
sick. That would be, you guys don't say the P word. That would be sick if
I said corn. I said corn.
Oh, okay. I think something's wrong with Michelle and Anna. I'm not trying to be mean, but you have to suspect something. And where is your instinct to protect your girls?
Where is it? It's
like if even back when it happened the first time, and he admitted to it. The girl should have been more protective. He should have been turned into the cops, never around my girls again, because that is shock to a woman.
And he moved right back into the same house. Oh, he's healed.
Yeah.
Praise.
Let me ask you this though. So where did all the money come from? Like, is it from the parents? Is it from Josh? What? I mean, like I said, I ran across the shore.
Dad. Huh? He has a bunch of houses, I guess, that he flips, and he had like a car company and something like that, but all the money comes from the dad. But I'm thinking most of the money comes from the show, and you were probably on some kind of government assistance at what time in your life. That's just too many kids to take care of. That's what I think.
Yeah. Well, no, I was just trying to figure out if that's, like sometimes people overlook somebody if they feel like this person is doing something great for the family, like making money and stuff like that. Sometimes they overlook things for the dollar bill. Heather
says Jim Bob is big in real estate and other businesses. He has lots of money. Yeah. Okay. Oof. Someone said something I just posted. How do we not know that it was just the girls? Someone posted that.
I saw that. And I would think that maybe, because he was so anti-gay, and usually people that are that anti-anything are hiding something themselves. So I would believe it. And especially how, conservative and, the family is, I would buy it. I mean, not that I'd ever want to go anywhere near that. I'm just saying, like, I would think
he's hyper conservative, okay, to the extreme. And then you have things like this going on behind closed doors. I wouldn't be shocked if it was the boys too. And maybe some other perpetrators in the family, like, because he was the only child running around doing this. There was more to the story is what I'm trying to say. There's more.
I mean, going back to why he's probably protecting them too and stuff like that, is that they, if the father made all this money and had a good name in the community or whatever, whether it was true or not, maybe he just wanted to like protect their name. So, and once you're known to have a freak in the house, then people look at you differently. So maybe they just tried to cover it up at all costs.
I'm going to start.
I think Jim Bob was also, he was like in the Republican senator state senator in Arkansas too. So you have that.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah, I think he served 2 terms as a state senator in Arkansas. So there's also that element to it.
I'm going to start pulling comments because people seem to know a lot. Daddy ran the cult. So people keep saying it's a cult. They're really in a cult. And everyone that lived in that house had the fear of God in them. I believe that. Don't cross daddy. Even mom was scared to say or do anything. He controlled everything. Listen, thank you, Debbie. It makes a lot of sense. And maybe Perry is just speaking truth here.
I feel like he needs like the belts on the wall. Like when your parents used to keep you're gonna get hit, so they remind you of the belt or you with the wooden spoon. That's how I see that. Oh God, those wooden spoons were nightmares.
Let's see what Chrissy has to say. They blanket train of kids, leave a blanket, they get smacked with a ruler for punishment. What is a blanket train of kids? Leave a blanket. What?
A whole lot of kids.
Let's take some more comments. Jill had to sue her dad. What? This is so good. Wait, Jill had to sue her dad to get money for appearing on the show. Oh my gosh. He
Wow.
didn't pay them? She said he did not get paid. She did not get paid. What? I'm side-eyeing the dad right now. I'm side-eyeing the dad. Jim stole all the TLC money from his 19 kids, never paid them. What? And he got all the money. Remember, it was a huge fight. You guys keep them coming. Keep these comments coming. WTF. Politics have nothing to do with, oops. I'm sorry, I have to drop that down.
I'm not. I wasn't slandering Republicans in that. I was just saying that he was a Republican.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Nothing to do. More on the more. He was conservative and then more conservative. That was my point. Not that.
Rob says, I bet they are anti-gay. That's what you said, right, John?
Well, he was the president or like the spokesman of the anti-gay marrying. The Family Research Council, which you can't get more anti-gay than that. So, yeah.
Serve their race type. So there you have it. With a large amount of children, homeschool. That's what you said, right, John?
Mm-hmm.
And so that no one can ask questions. Oh, God. And then you have the assault. I mean, people are describing their lives as pure hell. Oh my God! So he was in politics,
like in the Arkansas House of Representatives, not.
Yeah. Okay, let's read another one. Facts: his behavior is almost always conservative and fundamental in today's world. Republicans often are. Well, we're not even saying. Let's make this clear about the Republican thing. All Republicans don't act like this. So we're not including them as a group of weirdos. We're including this family as a group of weirdos.
And not every Democrat is an angel. I mean, look at
right. I mean, like the whole thing is this. I mean, this is where it gets off topic a little bit. We was only stating that he was in some type of like a government thing.
Right.
The party doesn't matter. We was only saying a reason why he wouldn't want things to leave his household to smear his image. He could have been the president of 7-Eleven. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying you don't want things to go out. So it's not about politics, people.
At all, because you cannot.
I mean, this right here is about things happening to small kids and stuff like that. So this politics stuff, let's not change the narrative. Let's just keep it focused on, what this guy allegedly done.
Yeah.
So
let's read another one. He has a position of power was the point. I mean, listen. Do you think, let's say we're right, guys, and something's wrong with Jim Bob. Do you think eventually it will come out?
Well,
unless he's charged with something, I can't see it ever coming out.
You don't see it coming out? You could be twisted and hide it for your whole life. I'm thinking eventually it has to come out.
I think he's got that whole family so scared that who's going to speak up against them? Maybe Ginger will. She seems to be the only one who's taking a stance.
I think she's there to protect the younger children. I don't think anybody's protecting the younger children, especially not the parents. That's what I think.
Now, did we ask this question? This is really, but do you think, and it's a valid question, do you think Josh was inappropriate with his own? Is that a possibility?
That's what people are saying.
I mean,
a sickness is a sickness. If you're sitting there watching all these things, I guess at what cost? I mean, you probably take any chance you get to see something like that. You know what I'm saying? So, you never know. Like I said, we don't know, but it's possible, John.
I hope to God not, but it's, he's already got, 6 kids, 7 on the way. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Chrissy says when kids are little, the blanket training was they hit them with ruler every time they move. All the adult kids do it to their own kids and have them say, yes, ma'am. Oh, this is culty behavior. So I'm believing it, people. One more. Why else do you think he had Anna spitting out all of those babies?
Wow.
That's just very dark.
Mm-hmm.
I hope to God it doesn't come out. Remember, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Everyone's kind of agreeing with you, Perry. Wow. I mean, I don't know
it's
what I'm gonna
crazy.
say. So anyway, his next court hearing is it's called a detention hearing, is May 5th, where they will determine if they will give him bond. He's not out on bond right now.
Right.
And they had those stipulations, he has to have a person
Custodian.
Custodian. That's like a person following you around all the time, and no kid being around no kids that are not supervised, and that's hard.
He should have been blocked. He should have been locked up years ago when the first things came out in 2005. And look at all the damage that's been done because the parents hid it, and because look how much more damage he's done to, and Lord knows what we don't like. If they was dealt with properly, almost 20 years ago now, then. I feel like they led the way for him to do a lot more damage to a lot more people. And, we only probably know like a tenth of what's really going on.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm thinking it's all have to come out eventually one day. But I'm not sure. It's a Christian-based cult. So everyone's saying it's a real cult. It sounded culty to me, but now it's actually a cult. That's really weird. All right. He goes back to court May 5th to determine if he's going to get bond. But right now he's being held with no bond. And then the hearing, July 6th, they're having another hearing, July 6th, 2021. So that's coming up. Okay, so let me move on to this housewife story really quick, and then we're out. And then should we take calls to see what people have to
it's like I was like, my face is like frozen in fear because it's like so. I'm like, can we just laugh about something real quick? It's like it was so serious. I'm like,
well, we're moving on to another serious subject. Now, if you watch The Real Housewives of New York, which that's John's show, you know that they brought on Heather Thomas again, but she quit mid-season, and she said she quit because she said that the women thought that she was saying bad things about them behind their back. She kind of summarized it as being pure hell going back on that cast. She said that the new people were about fame and trying to raise their name values, stuff like that. She said it's about fame and fortune, and they'll show up and look crazy and act terrible and mean, and they don't care because the fame and all of that is what's most important to them. Wow. She also said that when she quit the show 7 years ago, they were talking about revamping the show and making it more about real people's lives and not all of the arguing. But she said that they failed to do that, talking about the producers. She also said that everyone kept accusing her of talking, and she says the S word about them behind their backs. She said that they were saying that they accused her of saying that Luann was on all sorts of drugs. She said, I never said that. I said hard drugs came out and I wasn't into it. This is some serious allegations. Then she would go on to say that one of the women actually physically assaulted her. And that was when enough was enough, and she quit the show. Now there's rumors.
Was it Leah? That's what I say.
Beating her up? I don't know who beat her up, but there's rumors going around that during quarantine, Luann relapsed back into alcoholism, and she realized that's not what she wanted to be, and now she's back on the straight and narrow. She's making serious allegations against Luann, saying that hard drugs was involved. I just wouldn't put it past anybody. I'll just say it that way. But, it is what it is. John, your comments on New York, since that's your town?
I mean, I think New York has gone way downhill. Like it's like, I don't know, since Bethany's left. As far as Luann and her relapsing, I mean, like every scene last season, she always had a drink in her hand. She's like, but I can monitor it now. Like I can have 1 or 6 or 10. I'm fine. So we all knew it wasn't going to last. Luann likes to drink, and can I see her doing more than that? I don't know. Like maybe Dorinda, I could say, but like I don't know about. I don't know.
I just dropped the link. People have Jim Bob comments they want to say. So if you guys want to come up. In the meantime, that's all the news that we have. It's crazy.
I read on Twitter about Ramona that Ramona and Kenya got into some like whirlwind
I did a video about that.
Okay.
And yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
Well, I was like,
So that's it. That's all I have to say today. If you guys wanted to come up. I'm not getting any calls, so I'm gonna go ahead and close it out. Shoot. Some of you guys are just mean.
and Dee's comment.
Okay. All right. So this whole Jim Bob thing is just, I mean, Josh Duggar thing is just off the chain weird. I did it because it was slow news day, but if it gets any weirder, I'm gonna have to cover them again. It's absolutely insane. All right, you guys, I wanted to thank everyone for joining the chat and sharing us how you feel about the Duggars. It's a serious situation, and at the end of the day, just downright sick. Thank you for joining the chat. You guys want to say bye on 3? Let's do it. 1, 2, 3. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.